Welcome back to Confessions of a Recruiter with Blake and Declan. We are on a global mission to build the world's largest community of recruiters so we can all connect and succeed together.
That's right. If you want to check out more of Confessions of a Recruiter, jump onto confessions.tv, subscribe to our bi-weekly newsletter, access merch, and if you want to chat to us directly, join our Discord at XR House with the links below. Now, we hope you enjoy this episode.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Confessions of a Recruiter. And it's been another cracking year. I know we're on to season 2, but guys, we really appreciate the support, the incredible messages, the photos that are going up. It's because of the community that we're building. It's incredibly strong. And mate, I've got a couple stories that just identifies how important this community is to recruitment. And I was chatting to Adrian Birra, the last guest we had on. Byra. And he goes, mate, I don't know what you guys are doing, but mate, people are reaching out to me. I've had 200-300 recruiters try and connect with me. People calling my office saying, hey, are we recruiting? Do we have any positions? He's like, yeah, mate, it's surreal. So yeah, you guys gave us the nod. He's like, mate, this is good stuff. So I think that's the real impact, and we really appreciate, everyone playing their part, supporting this week after week, month after month. It's crazy getting messages and photos and it all happening. So
yeah, I think what's exciting is when people listen to the podcast, they actually take action and they apply whatever it is that we're speaking about or whoever it is that we're speaking to. So that goes a long way. And so if you are kind of sitting in the shadows, listening and absorbing, that's great. But maybe reach out to a guest and say, hey, I really appreciated that podcast. I learned a lot, and share your excitement, because the more people in recruitment get acknowledged for the contributions that they're doing, the more contributions will happen and the more value and insights we'll be able to share and constantly be able to make the community bigger and better and more valuable. So, just encourage you to, reach out, speak to as many recruiters as you can, because you never know what you'll learn and it'll make you a better master of your craft.
Exactly. And that's one of the things we're really going to turn up the heat on this podcast heading into 2024. And that's going to be a deeper dive into best practice, improving your billings, making sure just overall you're creating better candidate experiences, deeper client relationships, so you can level up, so you can make more money and you can get more out of this than, just the chin wags. We really want to go dial it straight in and be able to provide even more and more value. And we only get that if more and more people listen. So
yeah, we want to level up. We're gonna level up in 2024, and whether that be we get guests on that are like masters of a particular skill that we use in recruitment, top billers, different opinions, ways of doing things, government recruiters, contract recruiters. We're going to get a variety of different skills and outlooks, and we're going to really dive deep into the detail on what makes them successful, what their pitch is for new business, how they organize and prioritize their day, what do they think about when they first wake up, how do they handle work-life balance, a variety of strategies for you to become a better recruiter. And hopefully you will be able to apply some of the strategies and then, be a better recruiter and add more value to our industry.
100%. So leveling up, obviously AI has played a huge part in people being able to level up. It's funny, the crazy things it's doing across the board and what it does for us. But, I think it's great that some of the big heavyweights in the industry have finally incorporated AI. I think compared to some other industries, recruitment tech can be pretty outdated. So LinkedIn had their product release about a month ago now. And Connor, shout out to Big Connor. He's our account manager, an absolute legend. One of the hardest workers at LinkedIn. We appreciate everything he does for the ex-recruiter account and all the partners. So one of the big things that, coming out of LinkedIn AI is like the personal messaging, ensuring open rates, the data on knowing who's hiring, who's available, and just a deeper insight into, candidate activity. Instead of just being open to work, they know, their sort of process on becoming open to work, whether they're following your company. One of the big marketing things that's obviously helped us a lot and a lot of our partners is like using job slots has been a big uplift. So I'll definitely take a deeper dive, book an account management session or something with your account manager at LinkedIn to get more of an understanding of what's available with LinkedIn Recruiter. I think it's still a heavily underutilized part for recruiters. They just sort of use it for the bare minimum. Save searches, if you don't have them set up, there's a lot of things they can teach you. So I would do that. And then speaking about AI, Seek are months away, still months away. So I guess this is a little bit like...
Yeah, do you have any scoop on what they actually mean by that? Is that going to be like a way to search candidates, a way to get recommended candidates? What part of AI are they going to be integrating with? Is it Seek job ads, like helping you write job ads, or
That's already
Seek
a thing.
talent?
That's already a thing.
Is
they
it?
can pre-write job ads for you, yeah.
Jeez.
So
Been a
this is
while
what
since
this,
I wrote a job ad.
Yeah. Who writes your job ads? The VAs.
I don't really write job ads.
Oh, big dog, eh?
Oh shit!
He's a bit
Cat's
off
out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag.
I write his job ads. But yeah, essentially this is what Seek came out and said. Seek is likely just months away from launching new generative AI tools to help both job seekers and hiring managers. Its director of AI product says Seek is now one of the largest artificial intelligence and data science teams in Asia Pacific. Kathy Arnold told Shortlist it has been investing in the technology for about 10 years. And since she joined 6 years ago, the team has grown from 35 members to more than 200.
Wow, in the AI team. Jesus.
We need some AI recruiters. That is a good market. With AI now underpinning all its products, she says we've seen some huge impacts on our customers in that time. And in the last year or so, the pace of change of technology has only accelerated.
So this is going to be a free rollout. I mean, this is going to be interesting. I wonder when it comes out. I reckon we should do like a bit of a review. Like a review podcast on all the tech that's coming out and if it lives up to the hype. Because one thing that Big Johnny Burke said on episode number 41 around tech and AI is he found it super frustrating where you wouldn't get a trial or they wouldn't show you the product. And obviously there's a lot of marketing slogans that, you know, sell the product great. But then when you get in there, it doesn't do what you thought it did. And it ends up being a big letdown and you're stuck into all these like long-term supplier contracts and all this kind of stuff. So I think it would probably be valuable for other recruiters or small agency owners that are out there trying to analyze the lay of land on what tech's good, what's drop, what to drop, what's hot, and be able to get a bit more clear on the resources available to them.
I agree. And I think we're going to have to do this in sort of a corporatized way. My marketing element thought of the great debate, and we could have software vendors fighting it out, trying to decide on who's the best tech and really going head to head.
So didn't we speak to a couple of vendors and one of them said, no, we can't do it?
Oh, a lot of them. Yeah, no one would come to the party. They said it's a disaster waiting to happen. So yeah,
that'd be good, mate. Like Bullhorn and Job Adder.
Bullhorn Marketing cut it straight off. Job Adder's owned by Seek. Seek said no. LinkedIn, mate, Connor's ready to put the gloves on. He's ready to go. So yeah,
I'd love vendors to sit there and just like have a little bit of an open mic night on what they've got going on, why they think they're the best, what they do to sell their product and the value adds, and then at least everyone can make up their own mind when you've got 3 product experts talking about.
I think we pitch it like this, and we want the community to get behind it. So guys, if you think this needs to happen, reach out to us, send us a message, post it on LinkedIn, X-Recruiter, Confessions of a Recruiter, wherever you can put it. Let's create a movement to get these people on a panel.
These suppliers, get all the suppliers on one panel and have an open discussion on who's the best tech.
It's not a fight. It's not a great debate. It's just an open panel, a corporate discussion.
Mediated by the boys at Confessions of a Recruiter. I think that'd be great, mate. That's exciting.
We can host it here.
That's got to be project number 1 for 2024.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list.
We'll
work out the budget, get approval, and find a champion. But yeah, I think it's definitely something that needs to happen. Which is definitely, it will happen. So we just need to put it in the right light, and then we can get the right people at the right table and get the right information.
Totally. Okay, so if there are any recruiters out there that are interested to find out what it's like to have a VA support them in their role, whether that be to bill more, reduce tasks that they don't enjoy doing, or be a more effective recruiter in their niche, then we definitely recommend reaching out to the Outsourced People or TOP. Reach out to them, inquire on how they can implement a VA in your agency and to support you. And if you mention ex-recruiter or Confessions of a Recruiter, they will give you a 13% discount off your bill per month on this VA that will allow you to scale your business, scale your desk, and to bill more and make more money. So go reach out to the Outsourced People, say Confession sent you, get your discount, and see what is possible. What else has been happening? I do recall a podcast. We went through a podcast. What's going on, Sergio?
It's his birthday today.
Oh,
so
yeah. Happy birthday, Serge.
He's 26. He's giggling in the background here.
He's giggling. He loves the podcast just as much as us being behind the camera. But touching on Emily McLeod, I think she made a really good couple of points in her podcast. I think it was episode, I think it would have been 44, just after Berksy.
And shout out to Ems,
MVP of the Confessions podcast, around building a brand and being consistent and sticking to it. Like a lot of people don't realize this, but brand is more than just clients. I used to think when I first started Vendito that like I was just advertising my company to try and get more clients and look more credible to clients, until I realized your brand is more important to other recruiters wanting to join your business.
I was literally having this conversation with H people this morning. Should we break down?
What's the convo? Tell me.
So everyone's putting up jobs for candidates, clients. Yeah, sure. You're in any industry, there's going to be a large element of candidates on LinkedIn. But the largest proportion of people watching your content, check it in your own stats, is recruiters. So if you want to get the most out of your own agency and grow it and scale it, you need to be marketing to recruiters on LinkedIn. There's a potential reason why ex-recruiter has been so successful because of this strategy. But yeah, if you're wanting to scale your agency, you need to be showing the success, the intangibles, day in the life, what it's about. That is going to be more valuable. Someone coming to your business that's going to bring $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $700,000 to your company because of the relationships they have is more valuable to you as an agency owner or a billing manager, getting those people in your team. So that's what you want to be promoting about. Stop using socials for job boards. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, the social media strategy for Vendito, like I've sat down with some marketing people and they're like, all right, so who's your ideal client or who's your ideal candidate? And generally my response is I don't care about clients or candidates with my marketing strategy. The only thing I care about is other recruiters. I want my Insta handle to look like we're the funnest, coolest, exciting recruitment agency ever. Because no client or candidate is going to check your recruitment agency's Insta handle to know whether or not they want to give you a job or apply for a job that you're advertising. Recruiters check that shit. So when you are thinking about your content strategy, what kind of information you're putting out there, 99% of it will be seen by other recruiters, and you should lean into that and show people how cool and exciting and different you are, because rather than you trying to slash out one deal with one client, you promote to recruiters that want to work for you, and they are the ones that will be able to slash out the deals, and that's how you scale. Rather than going direct to client, you go direct to recruiter and get them to get the clients and start to compound your agency's growth.
And these are things that you need to be getting dialed in for next year if you want to be successful. It's going to get, I think there'll be a lot of recruiters on the market. There's not going to be as many good ones. So if you want good ones, you're going to have to, show them what you're all about.
Yeah.
And it's 100%. And there's a Harwell Consulting do this extremely, extremely well. And they've probably implemented their strategy within 2 months, I reckon.
Yeah, they crush it. When I first started Vendito, like no recruiter wanted to work for my agency. Probably a mix of I didn't have much experience at the time, and I was a 12-month recruiter starting a recruitment agency, and the brand looked elementary. Like, why would you want to pack up shop at a recruitment agency to go work with Joe Blow down the road that's just like winging it? And so the exciting thing about like Harwell, as you just mentioned, that like they look $1 million online and in person, and they look like they run a good shop. And so other recruiters look at that and go, shit, I want to work for these guys. They're crushing it. And you only get that opportunity for someone to walk through the door to be interested in talking to you about a job is if you look good on the outside. I mean, you could be in shambles on the inside, but as long as you look good on the outside, that's step one to getting talent in the door, to have the opportunity to bring people into your agency and grow and add headcount.
Yeah, true testament to them. Well done, boys.
Good job, Adam and Harvey.
And then from there, Crystal brought this up, Crystal Parker, when she was on the podcast. And she said, nurturing your relationships, leveraging repeat business, stop working for free. How does that sit with you?
I don't know. Stop working for free. I've actually, yeah and no with the stop working for free comment, but I'm listening to a book called The Go-Giver.
Oh, here we go. Mate, are we just all in the same morphed circle?
Are you listening to The Go-Giver?
Well, this is a self-proclaimed pump up from James Lewin, but he goes, mate, this book reminds me of you. Because you've got to give to get. I was always in this mentality that I had to, be cutthroat and always look at the deal of the month and what's happening just right in front of me. There's no time horizons longer than a 4-week period. And I was just, catch and kill. I think that's how it used to be. And, now reading this book, I understand sort of, the way you think. If you can think longer term, things are going to come back around. You just got to stay in it. That's sort of a quick summary.
100%.
You've obviously read it.
Have you? So you haven't listened to it?
Nah.
So one, a comment in there that I was listening to recently that really stuck with me was, it's a little bit. I'll just tell you what it is. So basically, it was saying most people try and go for a win-win situation. The problem with win-win situations is you're constantly judging if someone is getting more than you or less than you. And rather than just focusing on the other person winning and not worrying about yourself, what you're essentially doing is you are trying to do tit for tat. So no one's ahead or no one's behind. And essentially you can't have the best interest of the other person if you're trying to make sure that you're also getting a win. So rather than being a timekeeper of, oh, you owe me now, or I did this for you, so now you need to do something for me in the future, you need to just give and fully for the purpose of the other person to get the ideal outcome. And as long as you keep giving without the expectation on anything in return or a win-win scenario, then it will compound and come back around to you, far greater than you being able to try and do this tit for tat, win-win, no one gets too much. Everyone's the same kind of bookkeeping process of giving. And so I guess getting back to the Go-Giver kind of statements around don't work for free, it's almost the philosophy is almost do everything for free. And the referrals and the cycle of people wanting to give back to you will be far greater than you could ever think of if you were just trying to charge everybody upfront for your time.
Yeah, I agree. Prove yourself first. So there's a few things that deepening relationships, giving, leveraging AI, building a solid brand. Like I think they're the 3 areas that you really want to take into next year.
100%. Yeah. And I think you want to, just like if you're a recruiter and you're kind of missing KPIs or you're not getting the submissions or send outs or you're not doing the activity you want to do because of whatever reason. Maybe you don't have a hit list built and you don't have the clients to call. Maybe you haven't shortlisted the candidates and you can't find any candidates to call and that's why your activity's down. It all is in preparation. If you're being prepared to have a good day the following day or the following week or whatever it might be, it all comes to the first step, which is preparing your information to ensure that you have a successful, productive day the following day. And so if we take that from an end of year approach, we're now in December, we've got 10 business days until the end of the year. What are you doing now to prepare yourself to rip in for 2024? I've had a lot of conversations with recruiters and they're like, oh, do you reckon I should start slowing down? My advice is go harder.
Who said that?
Multiple people have said, oh, do you reckon I should start slowing down or doing BD? Maybe I'll just focus on 1 or 2 roles to tidy it up for the end of the year. Would anyone really want to get a job or fill a job? And my response to that is absolutely not. The best part about coming into Christmas is every new prospecting call you make or existing relationship call you make, two things will happen. Either one, they'll have an urgent need to fill before Christmas and you've got a quick deal on your plate straight away. Or two, they'll say, oh, not right now, but check back in January. And you've just got pre-booked calls for having heaps and heaps of opportunities to pick things up in the new year with all these people that you've spoken to. So if you're banging out 30, 40 calls a day, new business, trying to get some pipeline, you're either going to get wins right now, great, or you're going to get heaps of calls booked for January when everyone's back, because that's usually the brush away line that they give you. So either way, you're either getting a job for December or you're building pipeline for January for a good 2024 start. This is the moment where you got to double down on your activity, go harder, call more clients, call more candidates, and make sure you're coming into January with heaps of momentum, because there's nothing worse than having a break over the Christmas break and then coming into January and going, fuck, all right, better start building a list of people to call, better start sourcing candidates, better start from scratch again.
But mate, you only do that once. You only do that mistake once.
I don't know, mate. I know a lot of people that make that mistake over and over again. And sometimes it just takes someone to kick them up the arse and go, dude, why are you making things hard for yourself? Just be more prepared and put more effort into the pre-game for when you are in the game.
Yep. Bloody oath.
I don't want to, be pointing my finger or like being like an annoying teacher. But if you are someone that like struggles with momentum and getting off first base, then maybe this is a good reminder to go, hey, I need to actually just spend a little bit more time before the day's out to prepare for the next day. And instead of going and watching Home and Away or sitting on my phone scrolling for 4 hours until I fall asleep, maybe I should spend that on preparing myself for the following day so I can know I can have a successful, following day.
What would be the main things you'd prepare on?
I actually have a list, but I'd make sure that you've sourced enough candidates to call the next day. Like I feel a lot of people would, I don't know, this is maybe me just being biased from my own kind of lens, but if you can't find any candidates for the day, you've made a few calls, haven't done any submissions, and then you go, it's 5 o'clock, time to go home, and you're going home not really achieving much that afternoon because you couldn't find anyone. Well, you're starting the following day off with that same energy and outcome. So then you come in the next morning and it's 8:30 and you're like, oh, I'm still at square one as I was yesterday. And it's a really shitty position to start on when you come in for the day in the office and you've got like literally nothing to do and you're like, all right, better start sourcing again. And it's just a slow burn. Whereas if rather than going, oh, fuck, it's 5 o'clock, I didn't achieve anything today, I'll just come into the office tomorrow and start again. Maybe just sit there and strategize and go, all right, I'm just going to give myself a couple of hours now to do something different and to make sure that I'm prepared and I've got the data, the clients, the candidates that I can actually reach out to tomorrow so I can have a productive day, start off on the right energy and off on the right foot and just start making calls, because activity creates activity. You might not call someone that looks right, but if you're just talking to someone that's generally a candidate, at least you can have a conversation with them and it might create the next spider effect on who to call next.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add into your list?
I do, mate, but it's still getting refined. So maybe I'll share it when I've refined it.
Yeah. There you go. Blake's list.
Blake's list. All right. You've heard it here first. Blake's list. We'll come back to you with that one.
But yeah, guys, that's the areas I'd be focusing on. Do your planning days, and you will have a way better impact, way better excitement. Stop letting the market dictate everything you do. It's really such a waste of time. The market's in your head. The market's what's in front of you. The market's on the phone. So if you're sitting there talking to other recruiters about what you think about the market, then I'd take a different approach. Focus on what matters: activity, relationships, brand, latest software, and level up.
That's it.
See ya.
Peace. Thanks for tuning in to another Confessions of a Recruiter podcast with Blake and Declan. We hope you enjoyed and got a lot of value and insights out of this episode. If you do have any questions or you would like to recommend someone to come on the Confessions podcast, we would love any introductions. And remember the rule of the podcast: like, share, and recommend it to a friend. Until next time.